Well, welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me yet again is Jason Juggling J, full of smiles, Ford. Jay, a lot to talk about, as we know. We're still waiting. Nikki Wells. Football season's about to start. Cricket season's about to end, Eastern County. But first, let's get a message from our sponsor.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D-Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, earlier today, Jay, reports suggested that Nikki Wells was having a medical with Burnley. Yesterday, the two clubs agreed on a fee. It was then up to Nikki to decide whether or not it was in his best interest. And obviously, learning this morning, he has in fact gone for a medical. Only makes things that much more easier to know that he will be a Burnley player in the very, very near future, if not now, in the very near future.
Yeah, and it was sort of a little bit, when we started hearing about these new developments, changed my idea from the last show. But no, in saying that, the ball is in his court. I think we talked about it prior to the show. He did turn down an offer from Huddersfield to renew his contract, which left him out there to go test the market. And that's what happens when you test the market. You know, sometimes you could be looking on the outside looking in. What probably didn't help his cause was the injury. And with the ankle injury, at first, remember, will he have a surgery? No, will he have a surgery? Eventually, I'm getting a surgery. So, with him coming back, Burnley's going to be looking to get the bang for the buck. You know, we did hear about a $10 million initial fee. And then there's been talk about $5 million. Now, that hasn't been confirmed by either club. Right. Huddersfield or Burnley.
It's in the region, though.
But it's in the region. It's in the region, and that's what they're looking for. I looked at the Examiner, which is the Huddersfield paper. They actually have a poll on there to say how much you think is worth.
And the numbers are coming
in. And the numbers are coming in around about £6 million. £6 million pounds. So it's interesting to see how this will all play out. But as of this show, we're still waiting to hear news.
Yeah. Well, we know Nikki would have been very excited to know that he would have been in the Premiership with Huddersfield. Then the doubt when the manager, when he turned down that offer, he wanted to test the waters. The manager said, okay, he's up for sale. But a lot of championship teams were coming and knocking and looking and just poking around. But with Burnley in the Premiership, 10th place, I think a lot of people would have said, hurry up, take the deal.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see, and as developments happen throughout the day, we'll look at it, and obviously the next show we will have hopefully some comments from Nikki and from Burnley themselves. Also, we'll look to try and get a comment from Huddersfield because the manager brought him in and the manager lets him go. You know, so what did Nikki bring to Huddersfield over the last 3 seasons, and you know, what are they hoping for him personally, following his growth at Huddersfield and now moving on to Burnley?
And we looked at their schedule. They're meeting in very short distance. So it's something that we'll have on our radar. Huddersfield versus Burnley coming up in a few weeks, actually about a month's time. So it'll be interesting once we hear those comments to see going forward that first game between the two sides.
The deal is done. Nikki Wells is now a Burnley player. This after yesterday's news that Huddersfield and Burnley had agreed to a fee of around £5 million. After today's medical, Wells put pen to paper. Wells ends a 3.5-year stay with the Huddersfield club after helping the West Yorkshire club climb into the top flight. The Bermuda international scored 48 goals in 152 appearances for Huddersfield after a prolific stay with Bradford City, where he also won promotion and helped the then League Two side reach the 2013 League Cup final during a season in which saw him score 26 times. Wells, in his first interview with Burnley, said, quote, "I have no doubt this is an ideal move for me."
Yeah, I'm excited, to get it over the line. It's a new start, it's a new chapter, and excited, can't wait to hit the ground running. Burnley came about, Sean Dyche, indicated that he will want my services here, so, I had no doubt that this was an ideal move for me.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D-Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, we'll stay with football because this weekend will be the start of the Bermuda Football Association's season.
Yep.
It gets underway on Sunday afternoon, 5 p.m. at BAA Field. Charity Cup will feature Robin Hood and the PHC Zebras. And then the next day, on Labor Day, it's a doubleheader at BAA Field as well, with the Devonshire Cougars and Boulevard Blazers playing at 3 p.m. and then North Village taking on Somerset at 5 p.m. So obviously the Sunday is the mouth-watering one because it's the first cup of the season. And I know Robin Hood and PHC would want to stake their claim to just get the season off good for them. Your thoughts on the upcoming season and what are you hoping to see come Sunday afternoon and then on to Monday?
Well, let's go to Sunday first. Sunday, obviously, with the Charity Cup is always just to see how your preseason's going. Charity Cup doesn't really give you a mark of how your season's going to go because we have seen teams dominate not only Charity Cup but also the Daliv. They have struggled to stay up, and you're seeing some big scores. That's what you normally see during the Daliv. You see a couple of big scores, and even though we're talking about top teams, but it's just what shape that team comes into the season. Did the preseason training pay off, or was it lacking? And that's what you get to see. So for me, it's just the exciting thing that football is back.
Yes.
We just love the game of football. Going forward, still got my eye on the lack of referees and how that's going to play out because scheduling, night games. And the BFA has done a good job of trying to get the fans back to the field, but the communication, once again, we talked about it last show, we got to improve on that because if you don't have the officials there at the game, how do we get that information out to the public to not waste their time?
Right.
We've seen that happen over the years. So got my eye on that a bit. As far as the social ills, I think that the club and all the agencies involved, we have to do a better job of vetting, and we have to do a better job of vetting. We heard from the president. That is one of his aims, but we need to have a better job of vetting because at the end of the day, it's our families we're talking about. It's our little ones we're talking about. We have such a robust youth program in most clubs. If you come up here, we're up at the National Sports Center now, come up here on a tournament Saturday, people's got to park Don Sanders.
Right.
So it's saying that these kids are inspiring to be that next person, that next Premier Division player, and we have to keep that in mind. And the last thing, just got my eye on Ian Cook.
Anytime Hornets.
Teamed up with Angelo. It almost reminds you when you saw the reunited of Hayes
and Packy.
and Packy.
Yeah.
When they reunited. They left Cougars over in Dennytown.
Right.
Just giving me that little
Something you want to see.
something I want to see.
Yeah.
And how do they, because they have played before.
Right.
So how does that work into the scheme of Dennytown Hornets? And Dennytown will obviously be looking to bounce back because they've had a couple of rough years. Haven't been so successful over a period of time. So they're looking to rebound. Robin Hood, they just got stronger.
Yes.
They got stronger. And PAC, we just don't know what's going to happen because PAC has so many youngsters that are coming through. We learn about new players every year. So North Village, man, it's you never know what you get from North Village.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting.
I think people will be really interested to see 90 minutes of football on Sunday and then the 180 minutes on Monday, only to get a glimpse of how these new players that have gone to these clubs gel with these other players. What's the fitness level of the team? Who's worked hardest over the summer? And just to get that stuff under their belts, they start predicting what's going to happen for the season. So I think excitement is in the air.
Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free with D-Music, exclusively from Digicel. With D-Music, you can stream and download songs and create playlists of your favorite artists to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're working out at the gym, getting ready for a Friday night, or just chilling at home, D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
And one last factor, Earl, I think we have not included in this weekend of matches. Heat.
Indeed.
Normally we play this in our winter season. It is hot.
Yes.
Hence the delayed start. But who's going to be able to bear the heat this weekend?
Well, in saying that, there's some heat on Saturday at Lords and St. David's. The final round of the Eastern County Cup competition with cup holders Bailey's Bay taking on Challengers Flats.
The mighty.
Thank
you.
Pink and green. You've watched both first and second rounds. Now we go into the third round with the anticipation of Flats picking Kamal Lavrock, adding some excitement to that. The Bayless Bay team has the excitement of Malachi and Derek Brinkman and the likes. So what are you hoping you get to see come Saturday?
A continuation of the good cricket that we have seen the first 2 rounds. Yeah, we may have had low scores, but we've seen the game played right. And I said that in a broadcast that it's always a pleasure to see the game being played right. We couldn't say this a couple of years ago, especially at this grounds. But we've seen the game being played respectful cricket between, and these are rivals. We're talking about families, I guess families. And even the competition and all that's high, the respect, and it's been played out well. So I anticipate that to continue. Malachi Jones, going into the last round, it was the big talk because having been promoted to opening, he's the leading run getter in the league. And he probably, if he has a good knock for the final game, I believe his final game, he could probably eclipse 500 runs in only about 12 matches, which is, we haven't seen that for a while. So even though he got out, man, a great catch by Damali Bell, return catch, which he did catch.
Yes, he caught it.
Yeah.
That's stock.
Yeah, and it's stuck, and everybody is good work. He caught it on camera. But he'll be looking to make amends for that because he knows that everybody be watching him.
Right.
But we talked about who he'll be facing if it's opening.
Yeah.
He'll be facing the likes of Kamal. So normally that's aggression against aggression. Does Malachi waver a bit? Does Coach remain save Malachi? It's so many things that can happen with that.
Right.
Malachi will basically be facing these top 3 guys, basically his Somerset Cup match teammates.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Which they're all familiar with. So it'll be interesting how that all plays out. But you mentioned it the last show, Kaiwan Franks is something that he brings that X factor that can probably do something special. I think with Flats, we talked about it the last show, all 11 players, whoever the 11 is, they have to come good.
Yeah. And they can't leave it for someone else.
No.
They have to put the effort
I'll
in.
tell you, there's a cliche in cricket that lets flats down a lot. Catches wins matches.
Yeah,
Take your catch. They seem to have butterfingers.
Just at the wrong time, because they've been in the game where they are on top, and a catch turns everything around because the momentum switches, the player's attitude switches.
Here we go again.
Yeah, it's about to happen. But if they can just have that Cleveland moment, that Cleveland had two years ago,
up all the chances.
Yeah, because you put it all together you need one day to put it all together, and if it works out, you become the champions. And I think if they leave home Saturday morning with that in mind, the opportunities will come, because in cricket we all know chances are given. It's chances taken. So we'll see Saturday afternoon who gets the cup. Will it be the red and white of Bayless Bay or the pink and green of Flats Victoria? But in all, it's been a good series thus far, and we look forward to the final game highlighting the series itself, being what it is. You've had 2 wins. Obviously, St. David's were dethroned in the first match. Then Cleveland County were kind of a walkover second match. But hopefully Flats can entertain the masses that will come out, because it's the last big county game of the year. And we'll see how it goes.
You'll see.
Yeah. But Jay, on another note, I've been informed that Bermuda will be sending a team to Canada. The Bermuda Cricket Board unfortunately hasn't released any information team-wise or anything, but I do have an update from Canada myself. I was in touch with a gentleman who's heavily involved in Canada's cricket, and we were going back and forth, and he's given me an update that there's supposed to be 3 games: Canada High Performance 11 versus a Bermuda Development team, which are supposed to play on September 4th or 5th at the Maple Leaf Cricket Ground, and September 7th and 8th at the Maple Leaf or Mavis Ground in Mississauga. Canada haven't released any information. Bermuda hasn't released any information. I've been informed that a team from Bermuda has been selected. If they're to play on Monday, they'll be leaving on Sunday. But we're waiting.
See, this is where I get torn. Because first things first, let me say congratulations to the board to keep this relationship going with Canada, because the players need games.
Right.
So I got to give full props for that. But it's hard as a fan trying to follow a team when we don't know what's going on. It's just so hard to do that. And okay, if it is going on, who's going on, so we can get behind. We talked about, let's get our jerseys and let's follow, because we can't follow the game via technology.
Right.
Right. We can accord who knows? I might be wanting to take a trip up to go see our boys. Given enough notice, I might have some vacation time.
Right.
You know what? Might be a family member in the team, maybe for the first time, because we don't know who's being picked.
Yeah.
I got to get my job ample time. I got to give, and these things that we could possibly help, not only just here, but going to support our boys overseas. But when we don't know, and we get till the last minute.
This is where administrations get upset at the media and this type of talk, is because they feel we don't give them the bly. And the problem is that the earlier the information's out, the better for everyone, because then you can prepare. Who's to say that there isn't a time when a media wants to cover the team and wants to travel with the team if they can get a sponsor to do so? But at the last minute, it makes it all look administratively like it's a farce. And that's what we need to change.
And unfortunately, we're talking about something that's good. I can see if it was some bad information that you don't want to push out there. The media has to go find it and seek it out.
Right.
But this is something that is good. It should be uplifting. And you just mentioned it. We hear it a lot from fans saying, how come we can't cover more games, and stream more games? Well, these are the things that could possibly happen when there's something put in place in enough time where we can go and seek sponsorship. Right. We have companies that are probably willing to make that happen. Right. But figuring out now, to their defense, all the T's may not have been crossed, all the I's, and that comes with not only just playing, but staying, all these other transportation, all these other things, all these other factors. So I'll give them that benefit of the doubt. But at least saying we're looking to go.
I was just going to say that. If you say we've got a team planning to go such and such a date, half that battle's won.
Yes.
So stage one is done. Okay.
Yes.
So once the team is selected, this is the team selected. Now these are the dates we're traveling.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you keep it in the public's eye that this team is now going. Not at the last minute, oh, we have a team going, they're going these dates, and everybody's turning around saying, okay, well, when did this come about? You know? You have to take some of the blame when we don't do well because, number one, the team's not prepared properly. And when I say that, I'm not talking about on the field. I'm talking about, do they know what's going on? Does anybody know what's going on? You know, it's a phone call, it's a text, it's this, it's that. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a text, and you probably get a text from someone within the board. But the realistic thing is this. You have to do better. Simple as that. If you're going to take the responsibility of taking on this challenge, then you have to want to do better each and every time.
Look, Earl, and I've had this conversation with you. Personally, I think we should have a media contingency traveling with all our national teams to bring back or stream every national game we have off this island. My goal is to see that we stream every last one of them and bringing it back to our fans back home. That is our goal. That's just our goal right now.
It's on the bucket list.
But it's not impossible.
It's not.
It's really not impossible.
It would force the associations and governing bodies to do their business properly.
And I'm not saying this is not just for cricket. I'm looking at this anytime because when you travel, you see their local media organizations traveling to do what? Stream back.
Yeah, we see it here when they have international matches here. Someone from the organization is here sending information back.
Well, there's a friendly make-believe game, whatever you want to call it. They are here. So that is where we have to go forward. Because right now, our fans, our sports enthusiasts, we want to cover as many things as possible. And probably at the seat of the couch at home. But they know the technology is there for us to cover that stuff. So hopefully we can improve on that in 2017.
And finally, before we go, this weekend we'll also see the start of the running season. Labor Day 5K or 5 miler, I can't remember which one they changed it to, but that takes place on Monday morning, and then in the afternoon it's the Dudley football. So a lot to go over this weekend, big matches, and hopefully we'll have some information on this tour on our next show. We'll hopefully have more on the key. We'll obviously have the Eastern County Cup champions, and also we'll be talking with the Charity Cup champions as well. So come Tuesday next week, Jay, be a busy day.
And don't forget, folks, please always log on to Islandstats.com for all the updated information. Daily. It's not a few days, it's daily, and sometimes even hourly. So as soon as the information breaks, our base will make sure that is up, and so we will know all the latest information regarding our key and the scores, and whatever comes in, it'll be up daily. All right. So once again, Islandstats.com. Until the next show, Earl Basin.
Have a good night from the Digicel Sports Show.